Okay, now we're going to apply this prior knowledge that we just learned, this introduction, and now apply it. So if I look at, I don't know what number, this is number 3, I believe. It says given triangle KPM is congruent to triangle AYC. So I know I'm talking about congruency, not similarity. Congruency. Complete each of the following statements. So I see they're giving me sides, angles, we'll even angle with 3 letters, and even some congruency statements to finish. They chose the pattern. I need to be consistent and finish the pattern. Consistent. So, part A, now remember, you can look at these triangles, and if you can visualize it rotating, then you're fine. But you can always check your work and look at that freebie of your statement. The statement's very helpful. I'm going to look at the statement personally, but if you see how it's being rotated, this one's pretty simple to see, I'd say, compared to others. All right, so if I look at it, KM is the first and last. First and last is AC. Ta-da! That's it. CY, CY, this is last, middle. Last, middle. So I need to do last is M, middle is P. Okay, PK, middle first. So the middle is Y of the other. First is A. Don't forget those segment bars. Okay? We're a third of the way done. Now if I look at D, angle Y. Angle Y is in the middle. So in the middle of the other is P. K. K is the first letter. First letter of the other is angle A. Now this I like. This is what you'll typically see in tests and quizzes, 3 letters. But I just want you to understand that angles, if you see it this way, that means angle Y would be in the middle of the 3 letters. Okay, in the middle of the 3 letters. So for example, C is in the middle of those 3 letters, right? So if I look at C, well I know M is going to be in the middle. Okay, they're both in the middle. So you could have said angle C and angle M if you were just showing your work on homework. But here they're specific, so I have to be specific. They said ACY, first, last, second. First, last, second will be KMP, but don't forget the angles. Okay? Now, complete these statements. Triangle MPK is congruent. Yes, that's right. MPK is congruent to, let's see, MPK. They just went backwards. MPK will be CYA. Now the next one, H. YAC is middle, first, last. Consistent. Middle, first, last. Middle is P. Triangle P. First, last. PKN. That's it. Okay? So now, with this we were just seeing what was corresponding to it. If you look at number 4, it says find the missing measure. Instead of complete the following statements, now we're going to find the measures, but we got to look at this picture. They tell me both triangles are congruent. So if I know the triangles are congruent, then I know the corresponding sides are going to be congruent, and the angles are going to be congruent, which means same measure. Okay? So if I look here, I see WS is 9 centimeters. Now you may visually see where 9 centimeters goes. But if I look at WS, that is the last and first. Last and first is NB. So I also know NB is 9 centimeters. I first want to fill in these triangles, because if I fill in everything I know about these triangles, watch how fast it is to fill out A through F. Trust me. So, you know this is 9 centimeters. 14 centimeters NF will go with WT if I look at my statement. And then remaining, all that's left is 17 for the other side. And now I have angles though too, I see degrees. Angle S is 67. S is the first letter. What's the first letter of the other? B. So I look for B. And I'm going to put 67 because those corresponding angles are congruent, equal measure. Angle N is 82, so N and W. So W is 82. But then I'm like, well, wait a second. Well, what's angle T? Well, how many degrees in every triangle? 180. So I would take 180, subtract these two angles. So let's see, we would get 80, 90, 149, 59, 69, 79, so that'd be 31. Remember triangle sum theorem. Add these two angles together, subtract from 180. If I add these two angles together, subtract from 180, I would still get 31, so I know these are corresponding. Now watch the magic happen. I did this first before even doing the questions. So if I look at BN, it wants the measure of BN, not what's corresponding to side BN, but the measure. So if I look at BN, well, boom. BN's 9 centimeters. Done. TW, I look for TW, 14 centimeters. C is BF, I look for BF, 17 centimeters. Please put your labels, it's important. All right, now I see DEF are angles, so I'm gonna look at degrees. Angle W, I look for W, we found it was 82. Angle B, 67. Given two angles, you can find the third, and we found angle F to be 31. See, it's very helpful, I feel, to just fill in your triangle. If you know they're congruent, then I know the corresponding sides are congruent, same measure, and I know that the angles are going to be the same. And in triangle sum theorem, I found the third angle. Build it in. Done. Okay? So there's that. We are getting there. Okay, now remember, if I'm going too fast, you can always go back, replay, okay? But I want to make these short videos, okay? So you can always replay it, go back, rehear it. You could even just pause it and then try it yourself and then see if I did it right. Actually, yeah, if I did it right, because I make mistakes, right? Okay, so let's keep going. Let's look at, actually, you know what? No, I should probably go over this one. Just because we haven't talked about a certain property of isosceles triangles, okay? Because I see 2 tick marks, so I know that it's isosceles triangle. So if this is 27 feet, again, they say the triangles are congruent. We're finding the measures again, like the previous question. If this is 27 feet, well, this has 1 tick mark, so that's 27 feet. I know that. If XZ is 18 feet, then I know GJ is 18 feet. I see angle Y is 38 degrees, Y and H, so H is 38. Now here's something we haven't learned, okay? When you have isosceles triangles, these 2 triangles, if I go opposite, that means that opposite the sides, the base angles are going to be congruent, same measure to each other. So what I mean by that, if I take 180 degrees in a triangle, subtract the 38 I know. Let's see, I'm going to get 142. So I know these 2 angles add up to 142 degrees. But I have 2 of them. 2 unknowns. 2 unknowns I'm going to call 2x. 2 unknowns should add up to equal 142. Well, algebra. Divide by 2. If I take half of 142, I get 71. So that means this angle is 71 degrees, and J is also 71 because they add up to equal 142. Okay? So just remember that in the back of your mind. If it's ever isosceles, opposite sides are opposite of the sides, the angles are congruent. Notice it's the base, the bottom. Okay? Now notice they rotated this triangle. They rotated it. How dare they? Well, if I rotate, I know if they're congruent, the triangles are congruent, same size, same shape. I know that these 2 sides are going to be congruent. These are 27. And so is this one. We have 38 degrees If I go opposite, I know that these two angles opposite the sides are going to be the same. And we already found that over here. Remember, 180, subtract the 38, we got 142. Take half of 42 so I know what each one is. We found it to be 71. Okay, I want you to pause now. Pause now. We've filled it out. Pause now and you try doing these 6 questions. All right, pause. Okay, let's go over. So, A is GH. And I'm sorry about all the different colors. Apparently I'm feeling like red, white, and blue today. GJ, if I look, GJ is 18 feet. XY, 27 feet. ZY, ZY, remember tick marks, isosceles. If this is 27, so is ZY. Now I have angles, so I know I'm doing degrees. H is 38. Z, we found was 71. And J is also 71. Ta-da! Okay, so hopefully that helps. I'm gonna pause this video and do a part 3, and we'll be done, and then you're gonna start your homework. Okay? All right.